Oh, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our live stream.
Hello,
And
hello, everyone.
hello, hello. Thank you for the follow, meow meow. Lovely to see you again. How are things? I hope things are good with you. Not seen you in ages. And yet today we're doing something a little bit new.
Yeah, today we're doing a new game, a different
And
game.
and for gatherers, thank you for the follow as well. Why is my name not? Why is my game? Why is my game not coming up? I literally just set it.
I'm gonna say, have you not set it up?
No, I literally just did it. So why is that not working? Oh. Properties. Window. Do apologise. I do not know why that is being difficult. Ah. It just for some reason didn't like that screen. It seems fine now.
Yeah, it's working.
Anyway, as we were saying, today we're going to try something a little bit new and different. Firstly, Power Wash Simulator, a game
we're obsessed.
we are a tad obsessed with. But we've always wanted to do like an overthinking channel, so discussing all sorts of things. So today we're going to be discussing the lore of Power Wash Simulator, because apparently there is some.
Yeah, who'd have thought?
I know. And then this is an early access game, so I would, if we've got time after spending some time on the lore, if we've got time, we can discuss some of the pros and cons of early access. So I've got quite a lot on that as well, but we can always do that another day if we don't have time.
Yes.
So I'm going to go back to career mode. I have just restarted the game. I just deleted my save game, so we're starting afresh. And the irony of all the things, the irony, the neighbour opposite has just got his power washer out and is actually cleaning his car as we speak, like doing this proper in real life, actually making it. You gotta love it.
Yeah. I mean, we have real things and a real power washer. We could just be power washing real things. But no, this is my 5th time I've played this game. This is like my 5th go round. This game is amazing. Everyone should play it.
Oh, definitely.
That's my thing. Can I start power washing stuff yet?
Do you want to read the blurb out for the clean the van? Because that's got lore in it.
Great news! Finally found a van for you at the auctions under. Oh, you've got rid of it.
Sorry. Oh, you're reading it from my screen.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I've already gone past that bit.
Sorry, I've put it back.
Don't freak out when you see it. It looks like it's just been dredged from the bottom of a lake. But that's a good thing. It meant no one else bid on it. They missed out. Underneath a hideous layer of gunk is your perfect workhorse. Engine's a dream. No, how's the engine a dream and there's no rust if it's from the... Oh, it just looks like.
Yeah.
Engine's dream, no rust. There's even equipment in the back. Just needs a good hosing down and you're in business. You'll certainly earn your pressure washing stripes getting this thing clean. There's no lore in that bit. You've just been handed a.
It tells you that you've got a good friend who's been helping you set up this dream job that you've just decided to do. You've clearly been talking about it. And you've got enough budget to buy a van. And pressure washing gear, I guess.
Okay, I'm going to start cleaning. See, now the big problem of streaming this game is that you tend to zone out. It's one of those, like, it would probably do really well as an ASMR stream.
It would. I am going to turn down the audio because that's really loud. Right. Yeah. That's still really loud. Why is that so loud?
is. There's some parts of this game that is just really, really loud. I've forgotten how to crack. There we go.
Volume. Footsteps. There's so many settings.
There is. But it's so satisfying when you actually start cleaning stuff.
I know, but why are there so many settings just for the audio? Everyone in chat, do let me know if the audio balance is okay for you, or if we need to tweak anything. Just let us know and we'll fiddle with it.
Yeah. Have you started cleaning yet?
I'm trying to crouch with C. I've been playing too much Phasmophobia. Watch crouch. Crouch is it's control. So it's also not Minecraft. It's not Phasmo, and it's not Minecraft. Oh, there is something just so satisfying about this, though. Just it's just a really brilliant game. In a you can see the results, you can see your progress, like you can do all sorts of things with it.
Yeah, so from what I remember, there's not actually much story in these first couple of levels. But it soon ramps up. And then you have to wonder what's exactly going on in this universe. You still there?
I'm trying to spell. Kind of. My spelling is really bad. I'm leaving subtle, those messages that you get that like you don't know are there, but are there. The ones. Yeah, I'm totally leaving the chat some of those.
Okay. Well, you actually want to start power washing?
I've started a little bit.
I'm gonna beat you.
You probably will do, yeah. So yeah, there's not a lot of lore in these early ones. It's more about getting used to the game. But yeah, just that ding of recognition that you've cleaned something, you've achieved something, and you just get that little bit, that dopamine hit from, yay, look, I cleaned something, and the game recognised it.
An entirely different theory about flow and all sorts of stuff.
Oh yeah, you did a whole thing on that, didn't you?
I did a whole dissertation on flow and video gaming.
Do you want to tell the nice people in the chat?
No, because then I'd have to admit that I'd forgotten everything about it.
Basically, if you can't put a game down, it's got good flow, and that's good. That's a good thing. I know. Yeah, did you see my subliminal messaging? It's very subtle. Okay, Twix, you are too quiet, so I need to turn you up a little bit, which then means I get to be deafened because she was a bit loud for me. Oh God, you're so loud now. How's that? Twix, that means that you actually have to do some talking so chat can check.
Oh yeah, I was doing my tire.
Jeez. Okay, I'm just gonna turn my whole volume down.
I got my first update text message.
Your first update? Oh.
Yeah, my first text message in the game.
Okay. Oh, you're well ahead of me then.
Yeah.
I do like that, like, it tells you the percentage of everything. You can really see that progress.
I showed you the screenshot the other day where I actually found the cat that's gone missing in the game.
Oh yeah, spoiler, the cat's missing.
Oh yeah, spoiler alert. The cat's gone missing and the cat's really important. It's the mayor's cat.
You did, and you got so excited. You took a
I did.
screenshot and
I
messaged
did. I
me
found the cat.
in the middle of the night. So I woke up to this message where you'd been playing it after I'd gone to bed. You'd been playing it all night, and then I woke up to this message from you going, "Look, I found the cat!"
I found Ulysses.
Could you do anything with the cat?
No, it was on an entirely different house, like elsewhere. So you couldn't even get to the cat. So I do kind of wonder if like the game devs are just troll us and move the cat about, because we've seen the cat in a different on the shed in a different house.
Yeah,
as well.
in someone else's because we actually have been watching other people play this as well. That's how we got into it. Once again, you can blame Markiplier for making us spend money on games again. He's terrible for that.
Does.
He keeps playing games where we keep going, yeah, that looks fun, let's get that. We did that with Phasmo as well, didn't we?
Yeah, that was as well too.
Yeah. We just like seeing games being played before we buy them.
Yeah, actually, there's very few games that we haven't seen someone else do it first.
Yeah. Or had a friend force us to play them. I think Overcooked was you, wasn't it, Nerf? You introduced us to Overcooked to start with.
That was Nerf.
Oh, I have a text message. There's a removal man outside my nightmare neighbour's place. They're finally going. Whoop! Whoever moves in there is going to need... Oh. I am the slowest reader ever. Whoever moves in there is going to need a quality pressure washer. There you go. So that's setting up the next, like giving you that sense of interconnectivity and a sense of like there's this actual world where things are happening to give you to get your next job.
Yeah, so that's the first hint of that there's a world out there, which there clearly is because you've got to power wash it. But
oh, okay, this is. You can go over there or something. You're just in the way. The stool was in the way.
There is a technique to each level. Each level is slightly different.
Each level is.
As I said, I'm on my 5th go round now.
So I know you can do this one in like less than 3 minutes because this is the one that's on the challenge mode. But yeah, I just like taking my time with it. This is only my 2nd playthrough, only. So, and I haven't played it. I haven't played it in weeks. I'm 72%.
I'm gonna wait for you, and I'm just gonna watch and critique.
Yep, go on then. Give you plenty of time to catch up with chat, see who else is there.
Yeah.
Oh, I got... You gonna go with that business name, or do you need me to think some up? I'm phenomenal. I thought up Grouting Thomas for that Tyler, and she's never looked back.
I actually meant to look up where the game developers are from in this.
Oh? Why?
It just because it feels... On reflection, Bonnie Tyler might be a better fit. It feels like, to me, a very British sense of humour. Like all the way through, like as you get through, and there are sections of the game that get a little bit darker in the humour. And it just feels the very British sense of humour to me.
Well, that's probably easy enough to find out.
You can power wash other stuff in the garage.
Oh?
Yeah, you can knock stuff over. Not that. There's a trophy on top of a high shelf. Turn around, other side of the room.
Oh,
You can do that as well.
The gnome is like their mascot.
Yeah, that's everywhere. But other side of the room. Keep going right. There you go, medal on that top shelf up there.
I want a medal. Can I make them fall down? Yay!
Trophy is for best kept garden, by the way.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Quite an old trophy. Well, I don't know. We don't know what year this is set.
We don't know what year this is set, and we don't know what universe this is set in.
So we know it's set after 1996.
Yeah.
And yeah, we don't know, is this even set on Earth? I'm just gonna stand on the bonnet of my van.
Yep.
And on the roof. Yeah. Yeah, totally. I do not recommend this if you're power washing your car in real life.
Hey?
Standing on the roof
Oh,
and the
standing
bonnet.
on the roof.
Do
I thought
not.
you meant the game, and I was like, why not?
No, I don't recommend standing on the bonnet or the roof of your car while you're power washing it.
Well, the roof of the van can probably take it.
Just the bumper to go. The front bumper, apparently. Yay! The extraordinary Dr. Power Wash. I've got your details from that friend Harper of yours. I could really do with a hand at my place when you're free. So, yay! Job complete. Open the tablet to continue. I do love that you get this little fast thing. I angled that quite well. Looks fantastic. I told you it'd be fine under the grime. I pinged the money over that you gave me. It should help out get you off the ground. Just met my new neighbour over the fence, grumbled about the dirtiest backyard, told him to give you a shout. Looks like you got your first customer. Woohoo!
Yay, we've got an actual customer now.
Clean the back garden. So there's a running joke that like everyone calls you by a different name for this company. So clearly you don't have like an official name at any point yet. So, hey Doc, I hope you like a challenge because I'm pretty sure I've got the dirtiest backyard you've ever seen. It's not me bragging, by the way. I had nothing to do with it. I've just moved back to town for a bit to help my folks, who are both down to their last knee, and rented what I thought was a great little place. Should have questioned why there weren't any garden pics in the ad. They must have bred rhinos in here or something. Anyway, my girls are itching to get out there, and I don't want them still itching when they get back inside. Please do your thing. Thanks a lot. Cal. And they're going to give me $400 for this.
Yeah, I don't think I have ever read the opening things. I'm normally too anxious to get to the actual power washing bit.
Oh, I read them all quite fastidiously when I did this the first time round. Oh, I keep forgetting you got to press the...
Got to press actual continue.
Yeah. Van looks fantastic. Told you it'd be great. Oh no, I've read that bit already. I read
so
that
yeah,
one.
you got a different text message to me. I got, funnily enough, my first girlfriend, Florian. Oh, it's gone.
You can get it back if you want.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay. For anyone else that wants to know, is this button up here?
Funnily enough, my first girlfriend, Florian Perez, used to live here. Back in the day, those were the good times.
Oh yeah, I've just had that one. I miss my really, really good power washer. You get different power washers later.
Yeah, it sucks to be back using the rubbish one.
This rubbish one, yeah. But also there is still something just so relaxing about this. It's just such a ridiculous game.
It's a ridiculous game, but it is also so obviously a game that should exist.
Well, yeah. Well, clearly, because we've been just enjoying it way too much.
Yeah.
It's not just it's got really good, well thought out gameplay, and it is an early access game, but it feels really quite polished already.
Yeah, I was thinking that it doesn't actually feel like an early access game, other than it needs more levels.
Yeah, which they are working on. I mean, there's all sorts of
Yeah.
things coming. I am on their Discord server, and they're really getting people involved in it. So oh, are these all individual fence gates? I probably need to do the top, don't I? So on their Discord, they ask for, they do competitions on what you want to see and stuff. So they just did a competition to see which should be a new level, and we had a train.
I voted for the train.
I voted for the train. They're gonna do a steam train.
Hey, Simone.
Hi, Simone. Yeah, we do actually own a pressure washer, and our car, I don't think I've ever cleaned
Desperately
my
needs
car.
it. But washing a real thing in real life isn't quite as satisfying as this.
No, I mean, to start with, there's no water, there's no leads. The thing doesn't conk out every 5 minutes because my hose pipe's too long, so it keeps losing pressure. And then that makes me anxious that it's lost pressure all the time. So yeah, our actual power washer, not quite as satisfying and not quite as relaxing as this. This is just very relaxing.
How are you doing, Simone? Assuming she's still listening. This map felt really daunting the first time I saw it, but it's actually not.
Yeah, it's just got lots of little bits in it. That's not too bad, especially compared to some of the other ones.
Yeah, the later ones.
Because yeah, that tree house is like, geez, that's difficult.
I don't like the helicopter one's the one that I find frustrating.
Oh yeah, that one wasn't easy. It was kind of fun though at the same time because it was a bit different. But yeah,
we are doing fine, thank you, Simone.
Yeah, we're doing good. It's nice to be playing this. It's just nice to relax up and down. It's really satisfying. This is one of the most satisfying games I've ever played. Oh, wee. Oh. I think that's that bit of fence done. I also really like how they integrate all the levels. So like at the end of one level, it sets up the next level, and they kind of start feeding into each other, and then that's how you get this lore start to appear.
Yeah, this ongoing storyline about the cat that's missing, and it needs to wear a hat.
The cat wears a hat. I think
that's something to do with it. No, it's got to sing. It's got to do something.
Oh yeah, it's a bit like the groundhog in Groundhog Day. If he sees his shadow or something about whether it's going to be a good harvest or not or whatnot.
Yeah, so it's the mayor's cat, and it's needed for this festival, and it's gone missing, and everyone's looking for it. And there's a volcano in the town because that's where you want your town to be. It probably explains why there's so much power washing involved, though.
Yeah. Yeah, there's an active volcano in the area. Like proper active. Like they talk about like being able to see the lava streams and like with the fumes and stuff. Like proper active.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. There you go. Look, you can see it in the background.
What? Oh, the volcano. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I've never really noticed it. You can't always see it in all of the things. But yeah, go. Yep, active volcano. So they've actually added that into the background to make this feel like one cohesive place and story.
Yeah.
And then that's what makes us start thinking, oh, well, how much story? I mean, how much lore is there? And where's it all leading and going? And where are we going to end up? And what are these other things that we're going to get to clean? And why are we so excited by this?
Why do we care, I think, is a big question.
It is a big question. Why do we care? I mean,
Well,
if the game was just gameplay and didn't have the lore, we would probably still enjoy it.
we're still making massive assumptions that there is lore and that it's not just a silly story about a cat.
No, to be honest, I actually think that there isn't lore. It's
No.
I actually think
Doesn't mean we can't make it up.
I actually suspect what's going on is that they're adding all these levels and then they're going back to the levels before and tying in those text messages to set up the next level. And actually what's happening is they're telling a story by accident and even they don't know where it's going and where it's heading.
That's sort of how FNAF happened as well, though.
And that's how some of the best lore out there has happened.
Yeah.
And then
I mean, there was a vague storyline in the back of FNAF, and then it just actually, like, it developed into this huge thing.
yeah. And it was partially because people started theorising that it became more and more and more of a thing. So I'm wondering if something like that could happen here, where clearly the devs, they really listen to the feedback. So as people go, oh, the lore's important, they might suddenly go, is the lore important? Yes, of course the lore is important. The lore has always been important. We've always known that there's important
That's
lore.
a story.
There's a story here. It's not just an odd number of just putting a whole bunch of things together. You know, like musicals that are based on like the songs from a specific band.
And they have to fit a story around it. Yeah.
And then they try and shove a cohesive story to fit, so all the characters have an excuse to sing these specific songs in a specific way.
You know, you're just making me think of Friday Night Funkin'. That game with the boyfriend and girlfriend and the...
Oh, I've not really played that. I only know of that from watching Matt Pat and Game Theory.
Yeah.
Again, how many games actually start out with lore, and how many of them kind of develop lore?
Well, most games start out with some vague storyline. So there's someone has put together a universe that this game sits in, because there's a volcano and Bigfoot rocks up later, and well, doesn't rock up later more specifically, and stuff. So someone has put together this story that is cohesive, as well as has all these different levels.
Yeah, I suppose I think the one that scares me the most is the shoe. You've got to clean this children's shoe, this giant playhouse that looks like a shoe. And every so often I can hear the children singing, but you don't see them anywhere. There's no one else around. You're on your own in the middle of nowhere. And every so often, I swear, I could just really quietly hear children singing. And you couldn't. You couldn't hear them, could you? You didn't hear them, which just makes me question
I had my
it.
sounds turned off though.
Oh, but that just made me question it even more. That you're like, I can't hear anything.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard the kids singing.
Yeah, so that just makes me then question my sanity, and then like, did I hear it? Did I not?
Yeah.
And there, you get to clean a haunted house. All
Oh,
sorts
that's
of
what I was
things.
going to say. That's actually what is really kind of funny about this game is that it sets up these levels. So there's a haunted house that you go and clean, and then there's this forest place where there's supposed sightings of Bigfoot, and it always kind of turns out to not be magic.
I don't know, what's the big booming noises that are in the background of the Bigfoot one?
Thought you explained that to me by it was pranking people.
Was it? Oh, I mean,
See, I
I
presumed it was the volcano because the volcano is clearly getting more and more active throughout the story.
yeah. So either it's the volcano, or I actually wondered if there was a military base nearby, and it was actually them just. But then, like, that's such an odd thing to include and not mention. Just have these sounds in the background of just this military base, like doing at their range, like, because it's proper boomy.
Oh, it sounds like something's about to explode.
Yeah. So, or it could genuinely be the volcano, but then it sounds like the volcano is actually in the process of erupting. So it's
We're power washing stuff just before the soot's about to rain back down again.
which which would explain, like, with the amount of, like, look at, if that's a standard thing for just a bit of smog coming out of a volcano constantly, then yeah, of course, over a couple of weeks or months, everything's going to need power washing again.
Good business to be in.
It is round here, yeah. Yeah, are you a local? I don't know anything about the character. I mean, we presume the character's male, but actually, do we know that?
No, that's just our prejudice
Yeah.
and assumptions.
What's up? Do you do bikes? I could do with someone cleaning my bike. Florence and I would climb up and down that rock garden all day pretending we were rumbling Mount Rushless and the pond was the crater. I'm assuming the volcano is called Mount Rushless. I have no idea how we explained the fish being there. So this cow he mentioned before, I got really confused last time as well. Because he said he's renting this place because his folks live nearby.
Yeah, but he used to play here as a kid.
But that, okay, so he knew that he used to play at this place as well. That just seems
Yeah.
a bit of a coincidence, and it just that just struck me as a bit odd. And I got a bit confused because he'd mentioned his daughters going and playing, and then he was talking about him playing. So yeah, particularly
You're
the
way
first
behind
time
me,
round.
by the way. I got those text messages ages ago.
I'm taking my time and stopping and looking at volcanoes. But yeah, so this cat is missing. Then there's rumours that the cat's not missing, but that it's just all a setup, and the mayor is
Something. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be set up for.
The mayor is trying to distract everyone to stop everyone from worrying about something he's doing. So everyone's off out. Because he makes the fire brigade spend ages looking for the cat, to the point the fire brigade were like, look, we need to go do our jobs. We can't keep running around after this cat. We've actually got real fires to put out. So, like, this cat is having a huge knock-on effect on the whole town.
When do we start to get the story about the cat?
I don't remember.
I mostly play this to zone out and ignore everything.
Oh yeah. But quite late towards the end, it starts talking about possibly the old sewers, and that the cat.
That's when we're doing the racing car.
Yeah, and that the cat is possibly missing, or not missing, because the mayor's doing something in the old sewers that he doesn't want everyone to be questioning. So
you know what? It's only as you start to verbalise this story out loud like this that you realise how ridiculous it is.
Yes. Do you know what else is ridiculous? We're spending time and energy and money playing a virtual washing game instead of just getting our own power washer out and actually cleaning our car.
Yeah, but the car doesn't do the ding glowy thing when it gets cleaned. If the car got up and did a little dance when it got cleaned, I'd probably clean it more often.
Well, and if it told us which bits needed doing and it gave us a percentage thing. Basically, if cleaning the car was a game that was less stressful.
Yeah, totally do it.
Wasn't wet. I hate getting wet. So, the cold and the wet of the water anyway is just an issue. And then, I don't have to worry about how much power or water I've got with this game. I've just got infinite electricity and water and no cables. I don't have to worry about shifting cables around.
You don't have a single cable attached to this power washer. It just magics the water out of thin air.
It's quite amazing, yeah. So does that mean it's not set on this on this planet because clearly they've got different technology?
Well, if you do some jumping, you can jump right up on top of the parasol here.
Oh yeah, that's true.
The gravity is not normal gravity here.
This is not normal gravity at all. So yeah, maybe we're not on Earth. And also, I don't know what this parasol's made of, but yeah, let's just bounce on this. Why not? There's the.
So yeah, we're clearly fairly weightless and can jump really high.
And all the things that we jump on are clearly really strong and can hold the weight of a grown person.
Well, if we're weightless and have less gravitational pull, they would be able to.
Oh, that's true. Well, there's more chance that they would.
Yeah. Well, they're more likely to hold a little bit more weight.
How many suns are there? None. One. There's a single sun.
We do have a single sun.
That is just a single sun, and it looks like Earth's sky.
It's not the sky look like that everywhere.
Well, I suppose because the sky is just how the sun refracts through the atmosphere, and of course, for it to be a breathable atmosphere, you've got very limited choice of what it could be.
Well, the only living creature we have ever seen is a cat.
Well, the cat didn't even move, so we assume.
You can spray the cat in all sorts of areas, and it doesn't move an inch.
Yeah. So how real is this? Is the power washing simulator set in a simulated world?
And now you're getting into simulation theory, which is fascinating. That's a rabbit hole. I went down a YouTube rabbit hole on simulation theory. Don't go to those corners of the internet the internet and YouTube.
Well, I don't know. You've said it now, so now we kind of need to at least address it enough to.
So a simulation theory is the theory that we are living in a simulation.
Okay. I suppose technically we are all only ever really living in a simulation because we're living in the simulation that our own minds create for us. We all have such a unique experience. I mean, for example, the colour that I call red could look completely different to what someone else calls red. And that's just how my simulation and my brain happens to have rendered it.
Well, more complicated that with simulation theory, because then you have a simulation theories that is then based on there's multiple simulations and there's just levels and levels of simulation. And that if for simulation theory to be true, our one that we're aware of would have to be like the lowest of the low simulation because it's based on our technologies and stuff.
I don't follow that argument.
Something to do with the technology that would be required in order to put this many simulations. I don't really understand it fully. You can probably tell. The technology that's would be required to host this many levels of simulation and this type of simulation is not technology we have yet. So the technology, that's the assumption that technology must be much greater than what we have now. But our simulation, the technology is at this level.
Well, there could be simulations that have technology at a lower level. I mean, there could be simulations where it's still set in, like, the Roman era.
I wonder what evil person decided that 2020 was the simulation we needed to be in. What did we do wrong?
So we never see a person, we never see ourselves because there's no reflective surfaces. I can go up to these windows. And they it reflects.
Just gameplay. It's very rare to get
yeah, I know. But still, work with me here.
Oh, sorry. We're look, headcanoning stuff.
It reflects the garden, but not me.
So you're a vampire.
So we're a vampire who's out in the day. Which is why we're power washing, because we've got to put ourselves out every few minutes to stop ourselves from catching on fire. There you go, we solved it. That's the law.
We're a vampire.
We're a vampire.
Lives near a volcano.
Yeah. But yeah, we could just all be a simulation. It's just a very, very, very satisfying simulation. But yeah, a budget simulation, because they couldn't afford to simulate people or moving animals or anything.
Yeah. I do kind of wonder if they just moved the cat around every update and it's on a different map and.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Or do you think the cat moves depending on where you are in the storyline? So actually,
no, I'm keeping an eye on it to see if the cat moves about.
Can you see the
cat?
Because
every map as well, there are cat paw prints.
Oh yeah.
So wherever we're going, we're clearly following around. We're assuming there's only one cat in this world.
There is also that. Yeah, so the cat bit of the storyline must clearly be like the core part of the story, because yeah, it's referenced in almost all of the. There you go. I've got the next thing set up now.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's ages ago.
The park warden needs our help.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the big playground?
That's the playground, yeah.
That one's evil.
I've unlocked the RV as well. Oh no, I haven't. He's just talking about the RV.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Again, that one comes in quite early and then has quite a big payoff at the end. Like, they really work all these storylines and all this lore into it right from quite early on.
Yeah. And this mate, Harper Shaw, who keeps texting randomly.
Is he the one that wants the RV?
Yeah, he's the one that gives you the van in the first place.
Buys
Comes
it
up
for
with your
you.
business name. Gives you money.
We gave him money to buy the van at an auction for us.
Oh, okay.
And then he gave us what money we had given him left back. Did you not read it?
No.
So no, he didn't give us money, but yeah, he's clearly a mate who's helping us start up.
Yeah, and he's the one that thinks he's found the cat later.
Ah, okay. And then gets himself into a bit
Is
of
it?
trouble.
No, it's Calvin that finds the cat, isn't it?
Oh, is it? Oh, we'll have to.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Someone thinks they find the cat. They don't. They're just idiots.
Spoiler alert, they don't.
Spoiler alert, yeah. They don't. We get to wash down a helicopter.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I do think that like the RV, it means that they can then get us out of this town and be hopefully being able to power wash maybe even some famous buildings. That'd be really cool. Or bits of famous buildings. And they are planning on making this. Yeah, they are planning on making this multiplayer. So we could actually play together. At the moment, we've had to buy the game separately and play separately. But yeah, hopefully we'll be able to play this together at some point and actually power wash things at the same time. Then they've got to worry about what our character looks like.
Then they've got to add actual people in.
Yeah.
And that'll then disprove our we're a vampire theory quite quickly.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, just making it multiplayer adds a whole level of complexity that I was just like, why can't they just make it a multiplayer? Actually thinking about it.
Yeah, currently we're just a floating power washer.
Yeah. we are. Then yeah, you got to suddenly worry about character models, and that's a whole thing. I did make some notes. So there's a missing cat. The cat is called Ulysses, and he looks a bit odd, doesn't he? The cat. He's got something wrong with his legs.
He's got something wrong with his leg.
So yeah, they've added some real personality and some quirks to the cat. The cat's really important.
It's really important to this storyline.
Yeah. And so
and then each level has its sort of own little story as well.
Yeah.
I actually think my favourite is the Bigfoot one.
Well, yeah, so this one's got this guy who used to live in the area and then moved away and is now back again. And he's got kids of his own now, and his parents live nearby. It's like just these cute little storylines of these little people that you just get little glimpses into their lives through these text messages that they send you. And then yeah, you've got potentially the mayor doing odd things with the sewer system, so that will be interesting to see where that goes.
Yeah.
Distracting the fire service is that going to have consequences? Like, he's sending the fire service out to look for his cat, to the point where they then call us in to clean off one of their old fire engines, so that they can send the recruits out to look for the cat in this old fire engine to keep the mayor happy that someone's still doing it. Also, clearly it's just an excuse for us to wash down a fire engine, but it's just really nice that they've thought about
Tried
this
to give us a reason.
Yeah, and added in and tied all these reasons together and given us this lore. It's just really nice. And then what else? Yeah, so then there's this active volcano in the background that rumbles, makes noise, and gets tied into this cat storyline. And potentially is why everything is so disgusting. Oh, that's so satisfying. Look at all this stuff I've cleaned. Oh, it looks so much better. It's so satisfying. And then yeah, your mate is like, I need an RV, I'm so desperate to travel. And then Oh yeah, so the park warden's just got in touch about this playground, so that's set up the next thing and unlocked a new level for me. Oh yeah, and here's Harper. I saw my dream RV at the auction. spoiler alert, you get given an RV, which you give to your mate, which I'm presuming is then going to allow him to go travelling and find you more jobs, so you can then be a world travelling power washer. Because, you know, power washing is such an important thing that they need international travel to do it. So there's that storyline. There's potentially ghosts, there's Bigfoot. Who knows what else they're
out to be not ghosts.
Well, but they're adding that temple in.
They are adding a temple in. Oh, and all the Enochian language that isn't Enochian.
Yeah, so they're adding they're currently, the devs are looking at adding in a temple map. How's that going to fit into the story? And the train, of course. How are they going to fit the steam train in? It was a choice between a steam train and a submarine. Because, yep, it's that kind of game. But yeah, I love how each of these maps have their own little story that you just get to uncover through random text messages.
Yeah.
It's like, it's such a simple but effective addition and element to the game that really brings the whole thing to life. Like, we're not just cleaning a back garden. We're cleaning someone who grew up in the area, he's got kids, his parents live nearby. Like, you know that if by cleaning this area you're going to be really improving their quality of life. You know, these pixel people that don't actually exist. We're totally going to be improving their quality of life.
I zoned out again.
Well, that's okay.
That
is, yeah. I mean, this game is just so relaxing. I do just need to. We literally sat down and we played this the whole weekend once.
We did.
So apologies.
Completed it in a weekend.
Apologies, any nomad crafters who are watching this. That may have been the reason some of our videos were late. We decided to play this for a weekend instead of playing on Nomad Craft and doing recording. We needed a break anyway.
It wasn't like there was any big Crown storylines going on.
No, it was fine.
I mean, talk about hidden lore. I don't think the person that we're led to believe has the crown at all.
Oh yeah. People will have to watch our YouTube channel on our Nomadcraft series to get what we're talking about on that one. But yeah, I'm not convinced that the person who is supposed to have the crown has the crown at present.
Because, you know, meta and all that is that I watched a video from said crown holder, and that didn't look like the real crown to me.
No. Although with the shader, I don't know if enchants show up with that shader.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I commented on that at
my
the time.
My headcanon version's more fun, so...
Oh, okay, yeah,
we'll go with that.
Well, there's been other hints and tips as to why we think that the current crown holder doesn't hold the crown. We don't want to lose the current chat that's actually here too much, though, so...
No.
More power washing. We have managed to talk about the lore of this game for an hour, though. That's quite
Still haven't actually got to the bottom of any of it, though.
Okay, well, what do you think is happening? And where do you think it's going?
Wild theory alert. I think there's something going on with the volcano. It's about to erupt, and you're supposed to have lots of safety things in place for that sort of thing, I would assume. And the mayor's been doing something so that the safety funds and facilities aren't there, and he's using this cat story to hide from the fact that the volcano's about to erupt.
That's deep and a bit creepy.
Yeah. Go, your turn.
Well, I still just think that the devs are just putting something together as they go along, and they don't actually have an end story to this, and they're just going to see how they're going to fit together.
No, it's got to be a theory.
So what do we have? They have mentioned a sewer system, and potentially they mentioned the sewer system in 2 different places. So I think it might have something to do with that, because they mentioned that you could drive through it.
Yeah.
And then in a different one they mentioned that the mayor had plans, and that there was a rumour going round that the missing cat was just a ruse to keep everyone occupied, so that they're not looking at the sewers and what the hell's going on.
What is the mayor doing down there?
So yeah, so what is the mayor doing in the old sewers that clearly people...
Take care, Nath. Have fun.
Oh, thank you for joining us. Oh, that sounds fun. The Bristol Museum. Oh yeah, let us know how it goes. And yeah, we'll catch you next time. Thank you for joining. Leaving just as my theorising gets good. So
I'm still waiting to hear this amazing theory.
I'm working on it. So he's clearly doing something that he probably needs some kind of planning permission for, or something that basically people could stop it if they found out about it early enough. So he's clearly hiding it for that. So something that maybe requires planning permission that people don't like.
Your theory's probably more true, but I like mine better.
Yeah, mostly just because mine is half-baked, because we don't actually have all the information yet. And mine accepts that we actually just don't know yet.
Oh, that's not how wild theories work.
I do think that we will end up going international with this business.
Once we've solved the story of the missing cat.
Yeah. Yeah, I think once the cat saga's done, then I reckon that we'll probably go international. And that's pretty much as far as I've got so far with my theory. Is that I agree, the cat being missing is either an actual ruse or is just being taken advantage of by the mayor to get stuff done.
Some blackmailing thing going on.
Is that evidenced or just an idea?
Wild theory.
Wild theory, okay.
I only have wild theories because we don't actually have any concrete ones.
Well, yeah. I mean, so what would you use an old sewer system for?
Smuggling.
Well, yeah, he could be maybe putting hazardous waste down there. Like I say, it's something that...
Maybe he's building himself a bunker for when the volcano erupts.
Well, that's a really rubbish idea, but yeah, he could be. It's a good idea for you to have it. It's just a really, really rubbish place to put. If you're trying to hide from flowing lava, then a sewer system that's designed to have all the runoff from it is a really rubbish place to have it.
Well, I don't want to break it to you, but I don't think the mayor of this place sounds very smart. He makes a cat put a hat on.
And does a thing. What happens when the cat dies? That cat putting a hat on thing must be a relatively new
Maybe
tradition.
the cat has generations of Ulysses.
Oh, maybe. It has to be a special cat. From a special breed, from a special... And then is it always the mayor? Like, does the cat come with the mayor job?
Yeah, does it have to?
Yeah, does it have to be the mayor's cat? Is it like the 10 Downing Street cat where whoever the Prime Minister is, then you get this cat, it comes with the job, tough. Don't care if you're allergic, nope, there's a cat.
So the Ulysses is a anglicized version of
Odysseus.
What? That's the one. One of the foremost Greek heroes at the siege of Troy.
Yeah.
Noted for courage and I can't speak. You do the talking.
Okay, so Ulysses was the bloke that came up with the idea of the Trojan horse.
Yeah.
So he's a bit of a dick. Because he's the one that came up with the idea of tricking the people of Troy into basically losing.
Hey, Wet-Wets. How
Oh,
are you doing?
Wet-Wets. And then as Ulysses was leaving, apparently it took him 10 years to get home because he went on this big wild adventure. Basically, he got lost and it took him 10 years to get home because he was a bit of a dick and he kind of annoyed one of the gods. And who then made sure he didn't get home quickly.
Naps are fantastic. I have not had one of those today.
Oh god, naps are... Yeah, you did really well today.
I did not.
Naps are amazing. I do not get naps up nearly often enough.
How is your day go? Oh, your vacation day going? What other than the nap?
Naps are the best.
Ah.
So Ulysses and Odysseus.
I don't know that much about Greek mythology, really.
Yeah, Ulysses and Odysseus. He there's a whole bunch of spin-off stories and stuff and cartoons and things inspired by him. So yeah. And Greek mythology.
I just wondered if the cat's name meant anything.
Yeah. Well, other than being
a Trojan horse, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Is Ulysses a Trojan horse of some kind? Like a gift that you regret getting because then you're stuck with it or you're stuck with the consequences of it. And that's where the saying, beware of Greeks bearing gifts, comes from. On the note of things you probably shouldn't say anymore because political correctness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got quite into Greek mythology when I was younger. I quite liked the stories, so I've read quite a few.
Does not surprise me.
They're nice little stories. I'll tell you what, the Disney Hercules, absolute rubbish, just doesn't tell the right story at all.
And I'm not surprised.
I'm pretty certain the Greeks actually banned it was that bad.
Well, that'll be nice work to see some family. We've not seen people for so long now.
Oh, we saw Simone the other day.
We did see Simone the other day. That was very nice.
That was, yeah. But yeah,
but considering we used to see Simone every 2-3 weeks at least.
This is true.
We have not seen her. Oh, the first time actually since we got married.
Oh yeah, and that's been nearly a year now. It's nearly our 1 year anniversary.
It has. Yeah.
Let's work out what we're going to do while still hibernating from the world for that.
Yeah.
I'm sort of avoiding most of my family. They keep travelling places. I don't want to pick up those cooties. I don't want international cooties. We've got enough of them ourselves.
Your family mostly has to travel.
My father does not.
Your dad, not so much.
Yeah, he's the worst culprit for it, though.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've got the other topic that we were going to talk about.
Early access games.
Yeah, early access games. Pros and
See, I'm not very
cons.
confident on this topic because I don't really have that much of an opinion on it.
Oh, well, maybe I can persuade you one way or another.
Okay, you persuade me to have an opinion.
Yes. Hang on, I need to try and get... This bit's really fiddly. I'm trying to get this gas thing cleaned. And I'm not sure which... Yay, I did it. Okay. So this isn't...
I quite like early access games so far because the games I play, at least half of them are early access.
So yeah, so we play Phasmo and this, both of which are core games for us that we play a lot, and both of them are early access. So clearly, massive pro of early access is we get to play them.
So Wortworks just said something interesting. Early access for me at least depends on implication.
What do you mean?
Yeah. So I suspect it does massively depend. Implementation. Okay.
Yeah, so that was one of the things I was gonna say is like one of the big cons of early access is you can get yourself a really poor reputation if you release it too early. Like, if the game's just unplayable, firstly, don't be charging people for it. And don't release it. It's like, there's quite a few games, like a lot of the, one of the other cons is that you can get copycats. So, the power washing game, this one already has a potential copycat on Roblox, which is literally called the same thing, and they're in talks about, like, can you at least call yourself something different and not associate yourselves with our name. But Phasmo is really struggling with that at the moment because Phasmo's been in early access for so long and it's so popular. Like, it's been suffering from a lot of copycats who have been basically taken the idea of Phasmo and tried to implement something quicker, faster and better. So you get a whole bunch of copycats, but some of these copycats are rushing so much that they're not playable. They're not a game, but they're still charging people to try and use it. And they're just trying to make a quick buck off Phasmo's reputation.
Yeah, no, we've noticed quite a lot of Phasmo games. Thing. How do you mean, where as in implementation, as in how they implement it, or I don't know what else would be in why the implementation? Yeah, Roblox is quite bad for people copying.
I don't actually know much about Roblox other than the fact it could have been, it's good for kids or something.
Yeah.
And let's be fair, Minecraft has nicked a couple, like some players of Minecraft, like making Among Us in Minecraft. Apparently actually possible and is a thing and has been done.
Oh yeah, because Tango did that.
Yeah. I mean, it's clearly different enough and it's not gonna stop people from playing Among Us.
So yeah, it depends on the copy and how, whether it's honouring the game or ripping the game off. I think there is quite a big difference.
Yeah, and if it's in direct competition or not. Like, just because someone's built a game in Minecraft, people are still going to play Among Us. It's a different experience, it's a different game. If you build something like this and it's literally going to be, people are going to play that instead of this. I mean, there is an Among Us game that could potentially be actually taking revenue away from Among Us. It's that 3D single player version.
It's a 3D single player horror version.
Yeah, which actually I'd be more inclined to play than the original because I just don't have that many friends. who want to play Among Us at a reasonable and suitable time and at a convenient time for us. So, you know, a single player version that's scary still. Kind of cool. So those are some of my thoughts.
Pro
I've got some
of
others.
early access, though, is that, you know, it often allows the game to actually be developed.
Yeah, so that's a massive one. So the financing, I mean, actually being able to make a little bit of money so that you can actually spend time and effort on the game and start benefiting from that, that is a really big one.
Yeah.
And of course, like anything, if you stop early, I mean, that's just part of the risk that you've taken from early access. And I would hope that most early access games are a cheaper price than the main game is going to be, because it's not a complete game. So I'd like to hope that we're getting a financial benefit by buying it early. But I don't know how true that is, because I've actually not played a game yet from early access that's actually gone full game. Oh, it is a discount. Yeah. Where it says that early access is discounted.
Well, assuming they do, yeah, that is better. But I think the thing with Phasmo is that we paid for early access and we have thoroughly enjoyed the game, and so have a lot of people. But it is the kind of game that I can't see people playing and revisiting a lot necessarily.
Well, they've got to keep it fresh. They've got to constantly do updates and levels.
Yeah, it's the kind of game where you get it out of your system, and I don't think so I think by the time it actually reaches full game, everyone who is going to play it will have already played it and moved on.
Depending on how much, I mean, every time they bring out a new level or a new ghost, we're right there. I mean, I am getting a little bit bored of it now, so I do hope that we can play some other games as well. But I suspect we'll probably always go back to it, mostly just because it's one of the few scary games we actually enjoy playing.
But we've already bought it.
Yeah.
Like, would we actually buy it for, say, 40 quid?
Well, definitely not at the moment. It's not enough of a game to be worth 40 quid. But then I'm a cheapskate, you know me. I won't pay an Ace 40 quid for an Ace rated game. Pokemon Snap came out. I know I'm gonna love it as a game. I've played the original. I'm not paying 50 to 60 quid for that though. That game's not worth that much money. I'm waiting until I can get it second hand for 30.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Where it's in that if early access is implemented well and they are actually genuinely giving you a discount and not just using it as an excuse to get you to buy it quickly, then yeah, it's probably not too bad. I still think that everyone who is going to have, or almost everyone that is going to have decided to buy Phasmo will have already done it by the time it reaches full game.
Potentially, yeah. We'll just have to wait and see. I hope that they get it out for Halloween this year. I think that would be the best time to get it to market.
Yeah,
there's
that
a ladder somewhere, isn't there? Oh, there's no ladder. There's just this little footstool. Oh, I need it now. Need to get onto the roof.
Oh, my head. I play too much Minecraft. In my head, I completed that sentence. I need to get on the roof of the Nether.
No, the roof of the shed. So one of the really good things, like a really big pro of early access, is of course the feedback that you're going to be getting from idiots like us that play it and go and moan about things. So we've just spent the whole first of this stream talking about the lore and where it could go and what we think, what we hope, some ideas of where things might be taken, how excited we're getting about some of the new maps that have been literally voted on by the community on the Discord channel.
But by the way, devs, if you ever watch this, in the very unlikely event you ever watch this, don't make the volcano kill everyone. Yeah, that might have been a wild theory, but don't do it.
That would suck. Yeah, please don't do that. Maybe poof out a bit of smoke so that you got to go and revisit and re-clean some of these things, perhaps.
Yeah.
But
don't listen to my theories. My theories are way too dark.
You know, just in case the dev does actually watch this. Yeah, because we're that big.
Yeah, I tweeted at them.
Get on there. There we go. So yeah, that feedback, that, I mean, Phasmo, like, there are things that have been implemented in Phasmo that have literally come from the community's assumptions on the game based on some hints and tips that were in the game that people then interpreted.
Yeah, we screwed ourselves over properly.
We did. So one of the hints was to be quiet during a hunt. So everyone went, "Oh, the ghosts can hear you when it's hunting, so it could kill you." But so you have to stay quiet because they can hear you when they hunt. And the game devs were like, "Yeah, we can make that happen." We're like, "What, you mean it wasn't happening?" And they're like, "It's going to now." Thanks for that. And that was just purely because of the feedback and because of the community.
No, what happened was one YouTuber somewhere made the assumption and said it, and then every other YouTuber and streamer then assumed that they were right, and then everyone that ever played or watched the game on YouTube and Twitch then assumed that it was a thing.
Well, because there was a community and because of early access, the early access is actively getting involved in the creation of the game and where the game is going forward. And that's just such an amazing and powerful thing to actually be there. I mean, just think in a couple of years for us to be able to be there and go, yeah, I helped with the development of that game. I was part of that community. We were there at the beginning. And we helped them come up with some of these ridiculous ideas that we now regret.
To be fair, we are old enough that we were there at the beginning of a lot of game franchises. We were there at the beginning of Pokemon.
Shush. Hasn't that... Not quite. That's just had its 30th birthday, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I wasn't gaming when I was 5.
I can remember it being in the shops. I wasn't gaming at that point now, but I...
Yeah, we are old enough to... But there's a difference between being old enough to remember it and being old enough to have taken part in those early discussions on where the games are going. I mean, I don't just mean we were there, I mean we were part of the discussion.
Yeah, I was definitely not part of any Pokemon.
Yeah.
And
but
Nintendo discussions.
Yeah, I'm on the Phasmo and I'm on the Power Wash Discord servers where the devs are literally having these conversations with the people who are actually playing the game. Like, we are there having these conversations.
I'm there mostly listening to the conversations.
Well,
you definitely do still get scared on Phasmo, Simone.
You do, yeah. And they're gonna make that, they're gonna up the ante on that as well. I can't wait for that.
It's gonna get scarier.
I hope so.
I finished this map. How long have you got? 3%.
Yeah. I've just got this at least I believe I've only got this thing to do. The sofa swing. Though I haven't had my thing that tells me I've only got 3 things left yet.
Yeah,
so
no, I've just finished mine.
Yeah, I might have missed some stuff. So what else did I say in my notes?
Thank you for joining us, Wortworts. It was great to see you. I hope you have a great time with your family.
Yeah, thank you. And we'll see you next time. What else? Oh, another big con. Which we are kind of a little bit what's the word, guilty of literally in this stream right now. So one of the cons I've written is when people are playing the game and you're seeing it for the first time, but because they've played it in early access, they're like, oh, I remember this being here, I remember doing that, oh, I remember this bit of storyline, oh, I remember, and they're going on about like the history of the game, and you're like, but this is the first time I've seen it and I just want to be part of that journey that you're on. I mean, at least we warned everyone. We've got a spoiler alert as one of the tags, and yeah, this is literally a discussion on the law. I don't know
We're
what
assuming that I think we might be the only people in the world that care about power washing law.
There's that as well.
Actually, we're not. I did troll Reddit to see if anyone had come up with any theories, and there was one who was suggesting that MatPat should do a game theory on it. I actually don't think that there is enough here for MatPat to do on, though.
I was going to add, I concur, but I do think that they need to wait until there's more levels out and there's more lore to talk about. So, but yeah, I agree that this definitely does need a game theory at some point. But yeah, like, so an example is Jacksepticeye was playing Subnautica, and he loves that game, and he's been playing all the betas that have come out, like all the different versions. So I was watching it for the first time, and he was just constantly going, oh yeah, this is the storyline where we meet Alan, and Alan is this person, and then it was constantly, oh, I remember this, or I remember we go there, and it's happened with quite a few games.
Yeah, we were watching one recently and they kept on doing it as well, weren't
they? Yeah, I think that was a Zelda one where they, and to be fair, the original game that they'd played was like 10 years ago. So that's a bit more understanding that, oh yeah, I remember this bit. And I would probably do the same if I played a redone version of some of the Zelda games that I used to play. I would
sorry, change of context very briefly. Do you think anyone's done a parkour thing of this game?
What, the floor is lava?
No, this parkour. You can properly jump around the map. It's quite a lot of fun. Anyway, go back to your topic. Sorry.
And so that's like a real con, like the repetitiveness of streamers and content where, yes, it's early access, and yes, when the new map comes out, we're going to play this again, and we will probably stream it again, and they'll probably be really quite bored of seeing us playing this repetitive again and again and again.
You missed a fence post.
Yeah, and I've missed.
Get out from the side.
And I've missed a fence post.
So you get done.
This one.
That's the one you have to get from the other side as well.
Yay! Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so satisfying. Oh, I haven't played this game for a few weeks now, and I do kind of miss it. And yeah, I definitely want to play more of this. It looks fantastic. There's a couple of budding mountaineers already clambering over that rock garden. I intend to join them. Oh yeah, so I think it is him that goes up the mountain. So is that like a bit of foreshadowing there?
Oh, that is a little bit of foreshadowing, yeah, because he does climb the volcano later and nearly dies.
Yeah. See, this is what I mean. It's all these little things that come up throughout this, and it's only on this second playthrough that, like, you notice things. Oh, geez, there's so much stuff. What are you doing next?
I was about to ask you, which one would you like to do? Simone, which one would you like us to see? And any other chat, obviously.
No, just Simone. We only care about Simone. No one else.
I'm just presuming Simone's the only person watching us.
Yeah, and anyone in chat, we've got clean the bungalow, clean the playground, or clean the dirt bike, which is like a 3-minute job. The playground is quite big and intricate.
And it has a dinosaur.
And it does have a dinosaur. But the bungalow's a little bit easier. I think in the time we have, I would probably vote the bungalow. Or just sit here and wait for Simone.
We're going to sit here and do nothing until Simone replies.
All the pressure, Simone, all the pressure. Oh, I have another note for a con for early access as well to discuss. It's a good thing I did a mind map earlier to remind myself all these things.
Bike, he wants to see the bike.
Okay.
We'll do the bike.
There's got to be something up with my dirt bike. You see, it's one of my life's winners. Every morning I put 4 slices of bread in the toaster, but only eat the slice that pops up first. That's wasteful. When I have a coffee, I only drink the bit that wins the race to my mouth. But it's on the bike, I always seem to finish dead last. I'm wondering if there's muck stuck in the manifold, or whatever it is, slowing me down. I'm also kind of superstitious, so I haven't cleaned the thing in over 15 years.
Why do you need a dirt bike, Simone?
Yeah.
Let's continue.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
I mean, you might genuinely need one. I was imagining you in your dress that you like to wear. The short ones on a dirt bike, and they didn't seem very compatible.
I was gonna say, if you get a dirt bike, I'm gonna want to see that. A dirt bike because you can go. I don't think dirt bikes are a great thing to go places on. Aren't dirt bikes generally the sort of thing you stick on a trailer, go places to? Get your dirt bike out, dirt bike about a bit, and then leave in your car on the dirt bike on the trailer again.
Yeah. We put Simone off. She doesn't like the idea of not wearing a dress on the bike.
Horse riding. You need to learn to horse ride and sit side saddle. Cora was very good with the horses, with the giant dogs, aka horses, that we came across the other week when we were in the woods walking. She was a very good girl. I was very pleased because I didn't particularly want her to get stomped on by an angry horse.
Yeah. That would be one hell of a vet bill.
Oh god, yeah.
Clean a horse. I think I'm going to try power washing a horse anytime soon.
Oh, it is, yeah. Which bit's the radiator?
You're ahead of me already. How do you manage that? Walnut stand.
That bit's the
Which
radiator.
bit's the fairing? That bit's the fairing.
Yay, I did it.
Still got the fairing to do. Why can't I find it?
Did you just do what I just did and highlight it?
Done it.
Okay, yay. Oh, clean, 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 clean. Yay! That makes me so happy! Why does that make me so happy? You get a lot of money for doing this. Unless we live in a place...
We are legends.
Unless we're living in a place where, like, this isn't much money at all.
Maybe bungalow next.
Yeah. Hey Doc, I mentioned my folks. Well, I think it's time that the bungalow excuse me, met your pressure washer. It's so filthy it's hard to tell where the ground ends and the house begins. Except the ground is actually cleaner than the house, so okay. When I mentioned you to Ma, her eyes lit up. Pops moaned and said the browner the porch, the warmer the torch, which clearly means nothing, so he's overruled. Give the place a good clean up. I'm sure it'll give them both a lift. Thanks again, Cal.
Thank you, Simone.
Thank you for joining
Hope
us.
you have fun.
Yeah.
We will see you next week for ghosts.
Yeah, come play ghosts with us some more.
So this is the one with the cat.
Yeah? Where's the cat?
Yeah. Look at the houses next door house.
Oh, that's the
next
cat.
door house.
Is that actually the missing cat? Oh, there's an invisible wall there.
There's an invisible wall, but there's a cat there.
Oh, the cat's actually moving. I made the cat move.
Oh.
I made the cat go
moves.
away.
Oh, we made it run away.
I made the cat run away. I sprinkled the water with the cat. I made the cat run up. Oh, we're so excited now. I
think that was a thing.
Oh, well, that explains why Cal goes up the volcano. He's a volcanologist. Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay, he's allowed to go up and look at the volcano. It's kind of his job.
Well, he probably should have known better than to get stuck up there.
There is that. So we haven't actually been told that the cat is missing yet.
Oh no, that's true, but we just scared it away.
Yeah. We just got very excited by the cat. So again, it's that little foreshadowing.
Yeah.
So anyway, the last point that I wanted to raise about early access games that I've got in my notes. I mean, and I'm sure there's plenty of other things, so it'll be interesting to see what other people come up with, and then they can tweet it at us, and, once they've watched this stream and got their own ideas, they can totally let us know in all sorts of ways. We've got Discord, we've got Twitter, we've got Discord.
We've got Instagram.
Oh, yeah, kind of. Yeah, we've got all the things. Just, yeah, you can find us. So many things. And so many ideas. I'm sure loads of people will have other ideas. This is really so satisfying. Clean, 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 clean. I might not be able to finish this before our time runs out, because I do have to finish. We'll see how much
we've got to... how long we've got to go and stuff. Speedrun it.
I'm not sure it would be as satisfying as a speedrun, but people have been speedrunning these.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's definitely a thing. Anyway, my last point is...
Oh, yeah, you had one of those.
Yeah, I did have one of those. I've been saving it and getting you all, really excited to hear it. Building up that... What's the word?
Anticipation.
That's the word. Building that anticipation on what my final point is going to be about pros and cons of early access gaming. I'm sure you're all
well, hopefully it's a good one, because you haven't swayed me either way yet.
So one of the cons is expectations of the players who have actually played the game. So yeah, you play an early access game and it's really good, you're really excited, you're theorizing about all the different ideas and the lore and where it could go, and then the game comes out and it's completely different and they've changed everything and it really sucks, and suddenly it just doesn't meet your expectations of the early access and all those hopes and dreams that you had of where it could go. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like Hello Neighbor.
Yeah, so that was the example I was thinking of. Was like Hello Neighbor had it got everyone talking about the potential lore, about what was going on, about like all these different things that were going on in the game. Everyone was playing the early access. And then the game comes out and you hear nothing. So like I went and looked it up, and you hear nothing because the final game, the lore in the final game sucked. Basically. Oh, I'm not getting any of the actual dirt off using that. Is that better? Yeah, that's actually doing it.
Yeah, this one actually gets harder, this map.
Yeah. I'm probably going to do what I did last time and save up for the best power washer and just skip the middle one. I think that was...
Yeah, but I probably am going to buy the long hose, though.
Yeah, so I've... Oh, for this one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that might be a good idea. How much is the long hose?
It's only like $50.
Oh, I'll get that now. Equipment, short extension, long extension. There you go. For the blue one, yeah, that should be it.
The cheapest one, yeah, the cheapest one.
Okay, and then hey. Is that getting it now? Yeah, there we go. And so yeah, everyone got really excited, and then it was just a real shame that the final game actually just didn't live up to that expectation that it had given everyone itself in the early access.
Yeah, so that's what I worry a little bit about Phasmo as well, is that it's been such an amazing game.
It'd be so easy to ruin it.
It would be so easy to ruin it, yeah, by overcomplicating it, which is what a lot of the copies that I've seen of Phasmo are doing, is they're overcomplicating it.
Oh, yeah.
They're adding in all these extra things to do and all these extra game mechanics. And they are things that a lot of people who play the game have said, oh, wouldn't it be great if? But the danger of like everything being listened to is that it breaks the core principle of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely glad that they started with something basic and have worked up. And then, you know, there's some things that they have kind of taken out or like have scaled back. Like, I don't know if they have really tried with the parabolic mics in Phasmo. But yeah, people just don't use them. They're still rubbish. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with them and things.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to make those into an objective for anyone to use them, aren't they?
Yeah, probably. So yeah, there's plenty more objectives that they can throw in.
I mean, this game I don't think will suffer at all. There's very little they could do to make this a rubbish game.
Don't challenge them.
They could keep this game precisely as is and just add extra maps, and it would.
Yeah, that's all this needs is more maps.
That's all this needs, yeah.
I mean, like, people have suggested that maybe you do clean up, like, maybe after a homicide. Which I think is really cool. I think that would have to be a different game, though, because you'd automatically have different age ratings. I mean, this is a very family-friendly game. This
is actually a fairly accessible game, which is kind of nice. Like, it would be absolutely cool to do those sorts of things, but this is actually a really quite accessible game for people.
Yeah. But a game similar to this, but where you're a forensics cleanup crew, and then what you see is like the aftermath of like horrific crimes and things. Because everyone has that sort of morbid curiosity. And so what you're doing is you're cleaning up a crime, and you're seeing all of the evidence, seeing what the police have done, like trying to piece together and working out what happened yourself while you're cleaning it up. Because there's instantly a story there that like something happened.
I instantly do want to play that game.
But it's also just, it's immediately so morbid. And like some crimes, I mean, you're literally talking like cleaning spots where there's obviously been a body there and things. I mean, it would be pretty gross. So I definitely don't think this game should do it, but maybe as like an add-on game or a related game to this. But
it could even be DLC, couldn't it?
yeah, like a DLC, but an age-rated DLC would be quite cool. But also it does make people like think, oh, what happens after a crime? Like, you've got to get a house back up to shape so that they can sell it, so that the world can move on and things. It's kind of gross, but kind of cool and weird. But yeah, that was all my pros and cons of early access.
I still don't really have an opinion much one way or the other.
I still think that I think early access is a good thing. I think overall it definitely has more benefits than harm, particularly on Steam, where the early access, like, you get ratings so people can tell if it's worth getting or not, so that some of these pros do disappear a bit. Like, particularly some of the money grabbing ones, if it's just a copy and it's actually unplayable. Then
yeah, so there have been some like that people have played and gone, okay, this is unplayable and I paid $5 for this.
Can you get your money back off if it's early access and you're like, no, this is actually unplayable?
I don't know, I've never had a game that I wanted a refund for.
I don't know if they like let you play it for like so many hours and can still have a refund between that, and so you've got like a little bit of time to decide if it's playable or not in.
I have no idea.
If there isn't, there should be. Clearly, we would not be able to get our money back on this game, considering you have already played it 5 times.
Yeah.
The replay value on this game is pretty high. Like, this is my second run through, and I'm still really enjoying it as much as I did the first time. It's just so satisfying.
Yeah.
And then it's just a question of, do we do more of this on stream? Or do we just go and play some more of this privately?
Well, we have lots of Minecraft we need to do as well.
Yeah, that's true.
We have a whole thing to implement on Curious Craft. So if anyone who watches us plays Minecraft and would like to play on a server with us, we do have this potential opportunity too.
We've got a few things to set up on it, but yeah, that's definitely an option.
But we have lots of things planned for that we need to do.
Join our Discord for more details on that and how to join. I don't know how we tell you where our Discord is.
I'll put that up.
Okay. So yeah, I'm really enjoying these overthinking, like this, like, so potentially this could be a bit of a series of us overthinking while playing a game, just talking about stuff, talking about different ideas, different thoughts, like the laws of games, or kind of like a podcast, but while playing games, which is perfect. I like that. It's like the best way to communicate is when you're doing something else.
Yeah.
I think. Just makes that whole communication thing just less scary.
It does. Sorry, I got distracted. I was looking for Discord links.
Okay. So yeah, link is in the stream chat. So if you're interested in playing on a Minecraft server with us, it is a survival world.
It's a vanilla survival world. Well, vanilla-ish survival world. It's whitelist only, so you do have to talk to us on Discord to get access.
Yes. And yeah, we're thinking about starting up a new YouTube series from that server, so you may even get some of your stuff featured. Who knows? Because yeah, that's something we could do in that if people have built relevant games. Yeah, build a relevant game in Minecraft for us. We might feature relevant builds. Then we might feature them on the YouTube channel. And of course, you'll be getting to play with us, which is, of course, it's wonderful and amazing and marvellous. It's totally what people want to do.
Well, the people we do play on various servers don't seem to mind. Hey, Rosie. Nice to see
Rosie.
you.
How have you been? We've just been talking about YouTube videos and we've been enjoying your ones. Yeah, doing well today, thank you. Nearly the end of the weekend though. I've got work tomorrow. Boring.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're only going to be streaming for a little bit while longer, and then we're going to have to start thinking about getting ready for bed because we've got a big day tomorrow. Oh, I'm so glad that you're going to try my Starry Sky tutorial. Is the tutorial, does it explain it enough for you to be able to do it? Because it was really hard to fit all that info into like trying to do a 1 minute short. It was a fun challenge as well though. Yeah, I really like, oh, your terraforming one, that was really inspiring. I'd actually, T was all like, oh yeah, I knew about that. But I was like, I didn't know that you could use moss like that. Oh yeah, thank you. That's lovely. It was inspired by when I was visiting a place called Milton Keynes, which is basically just a gigantic shopping centre. But in the shopping centre, there's a place called City Limits. It was a while back. I don't know if it's still there, but they had like this indoor starry sky that was like that, and I just thought it was beautiful. It was just such a lovely place, and you could have dinner there, and you could just sit there and relax under the starry sky in the middle of the day, and that's actually what inspired me for that. And when I saw the glow squid ink, I was like, ooh, can we? And we could.
It beats doing it with nether stars, which are very, very expensive.
Oh god, yeah. Oh, this house is so dirty. It's so much fun.
It is. So we do mostly stream Minecraft, Rosie. It's just that we fell in love with this game.
Today is a power washing day. It had to be done.
Good. Can't believe we made the cat run away though. I want the cat back on the roof. This is such a satisfying game. It really is.
It is, yeah.
Like we were saying, we saw someone play it, and I thought, okay, we're gonna have to have a look at that. So we bought it, and then that was it. An entire weekend gone.
Well, yeah, you were really stressed, so I'm like, I know what will fix this. I bought you this through Steam, and then I was like, I want to play too, and then I had to buy myself a copy, and then that was it. Yeah, that was our weekend done. But yeah, you were really stressed, and this really helped. It was a good de-stressing present, as we still not comfortable to go to the spa yet.
No.
I mean, I think it is open now, but yeah, I don't really want to sit in a public hot tub. people.
It'll take some
and
getting used to being around people again.
It will. Yeah, we're going to have to come up with a plan of how to reintegrate back into society.
Yeah. Virtually not left the house other than to walk the dog for
18 months.
since February.
The year before.
February last year.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been like proper 18 months since we really... It's been a nice break from society as well, though. But yeah, it is getting a little bit like, I wish we could go places and do things. But also, it's better to stay safe right now. And I'm glad that, like, we can take it seriously.
Yeah. Lockdown really suited me too. Like, I have obviously missed people, but at the same time, I haven't really missed people.
Oh yeah, being able to work from home, like working from home really seriously is like been amazing. And
Yeah, no, you literally haven't been to work
for 18 months. Yeah. And long may that continue, because I work for quite an old organisation, so they have these buildings and they grew, and the buildings are like really good location and everything. They can't just get rid of them, but we don't all fit. There's not enough parking. There's not enough desks. So they've actually been really clever, and they've gone, right, okay, well, you can all work from home then, and just come in when you need. And that's it. That's how we are going to work from now onwards. Is we don't have to move. You can. So it's been quite a good quite a good them getting around not having to move buildings and stuff.
It's taken me some getting used to, because I worked from home anyway, because I work for me, and suddenly I've got a wife in the house constantly.
Yeah, and I can be quite annoying. At least we've managed to make it so that we don't work in the same room.
Yeah.
So some people have had to, like, the only place available is like the kitchen counter or the dining room table, and like trying to get all of you working around that. We would just be constantly distracting each other more than we already do.
Oh yeah, well, we would just be having conversations about Minecraft or some weird topic that got our interest.
What, like power washing law?
Yeah, we would start debating power washing law.
We would. We're so bad. I love that ding. I live for that ding right now. Ding, ding, ding. Oh yeah, Rosie, you missed the beginning. The first hour of this was dedicated to literally the storyline and the lore in this game. Yes, there's storyline and lore in this game.
There's a storyline to this game, and I think we are the only two people in the world that care.
No. I bet Pat will care once they've developed it a bit more, so they can get a video out of it. And Markiplier seems to care quite a bit.
He does. Markiplier keeps on saying that people should
look into this.
Pat specifically should deep dive this.
Yeah. Again, once there's a bit more lore, they totally should. I'm just not convinced there's enough revealed yet.
Yeah.
Oh, look at all the oranges, all the dirt I've got to clean. But yeah, there's
started the roof yet.
There's a missing cat. There's potential shenanigans of what the mayor's up to. There's an active volcano. There's Bigfoot.
Do you see the volcano?
Ghosts.
Oh, the volcano's closer here.
Yeah, closer.
Around the back of the house.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I'm not sure about closer. It's slightly different angle. I don't know. It could actually be the same. It's difficult to tell. But yeah,
That's true.
active volcano. Just yeah, sure.
Just over there.
Just over there. Proper active. Look, billowing smoke and everything.
But yeah, all that smoke. It's no wonder that this house is so dirty.
Oh yeah. Oh, here we are. Marky's messaging me. They're getting really excited with how the so all of the lore, you get all of the lore through these little text messages that you keep getting. So yeah, it's all just cleverly done through these little nano conversations. And then yeah, it's such a good game. I highly recommend it. Everyone should have this game.
53% done.
41%. So yeah, if you join the Discord, you can get involved in the conversation of what to add. So yeah, we just totally voted for the steam train.
Yeah,
they might
map.
Yeah, for the next map. They might still put the submarine in. But yeah, definitely need a steam train. So yeah, well excited. I don't know how difficult it is for them to make maps and stuff for this. Like, I don't actually know much about coding, so I'm presuming that it's using the Unreal Engine and that there's like things you can just buy that other people have made.
I just presumed they bought some models and shoved a load of dirt on the top. I'm sure it's more complicated than that.
That's what I mean. It's probably is a lot more complicated than that. I don't know how complicated it is.
It's actually probably surprisingly complicated to take a model someone else has created and put dirt on top.
And then separate it all out. Because, yeah, you've got these big lists of different bits and stuff. And then each one has a percentage. So, yeah, it's probably not quick.
No.
But yeah, I don't actually know much about coding anymore. I suspect it's all very different from when I learnt it at uni. They made me do a short course on some of it. All I remember is that there was something called object orientated programming, and that sounded cool, and that's all I remember.
It's been a long time since I studied anything like that, and I specifically did computer programming. And I would not be able to tell you a thing.
That's the thing. I suppose it's probably moved on a lot since we learnt it, because we is old.
It's very old now. I have never played House Flipper. What is House Flipper?
No.
It's another game I'm going to get hooked on.
Yeah, we might have to look into that. Write that down. I'm going to write that down. House Flipper. It makes me feel like you actually like flip a house.
It's a simulation game. Oh, yeah, no, it does look like something. I want this now.
Okay, what is this?
You're a one-man renovation crew.
Okay.
Yeah, this is precisely the type of thing we like. We can say goodbye to another weekend.
Okay, but we've got to get the next episode out first.
I've got one. It's scheduled for tomorrow.
Yeah, but we've got for the one after.
Oh yeah, no. We need to work on the next Nomad Craft.
I was going to say we can't keep making the poor Nomad people wait just because we've run off to power wash or flip a house. Like we
Luckily, there has never been a game that can entirely pull us away from Minecraft.
No, not yet. I mean, there are some games that we do purposefully stay away from. So I'm an ex World of Warcraft player, so I know not to get into that again because that would probably pull me away from Minecraft for quite a while.
There's only so much time in the world.
Yeah, and like Guild Wars and things like that. Like I got really into those. We've also agreed not to play Fortnite. Again, we were a little bit concerned about how much we would get into that and how much time we had.
Yeah.
I mean, Ark was a good game, but yeah, I just didn't quite get into it like I do Minecraft.
There's something really, really quite lovely about Minecraft.
There is.
In its simplicity, yet it's so complex.
Yeah.
And so creative.
Fortnite is shiny and vast.
Maybe I wouldn't.
Maybe I wouldn't get along with Fortnite.
Yeah, maybe we're a bit old for it.
Didn't they say somewhere the other day that the average player for Fortnite is 8 years old?
Oh, is it? Oh, the average player of Minecraft is 28.
Yeah, no, I think we might stick with Minecraft. It's much more the irony. It's much more our age range. I don't think I'm going to get all of this done today.
No, I'm at 60%.
I'm at 49%.
I bet you get to 50% and then...
Okay. There you go. I'll get to 50% and then we'll call it there. But yeah, they are going to make this multiplayer. So, like, yeah, Rosie, if you get this, and then...
We can totally play it.
We can totally play it together. Oh, you should get Phasma as well. Slightly different game, slightly different genre. Still funny. Those are the games we're currently playing. So how come all of these other houses are just so clean? And it's just this one?
I know, it's just this one.
Just this one.
You're at 50%, did you know?
Oh, it's only just swapped to it, yeah. Let me just get most of this done.
You just can't stop, I know.
No, I know, yes. Yes, this is the thing. It's just such a good game. I just want to keep playing it all night. But I can't. Apparently I have responsibilities or some rubbish like that.
Oh, yeah.
Window frame
I
is
stopped.
done. Oh. But there's still dirt. I can still see dirt. There's dirt. There's dirt. There's still dirt. I kind of want to finish the porch.
Right, well, you finish the porch then.
But I won't finish the whole bungalow.
Oh, the work YouTube balance is really quite difficult. Like,
yeah.
And we're lucky there's two of us. So we can balance that out. But yeah, finding time for it all is actually quite challenging.
Yeah, that was something that we have really struggled with. And like, yeah, there'll be times when we'll take like 2 weeks off from the YouTubing just because we've really struggled to cope. Like if I've had a particularly difficult week at work, then yeah, it's then difficult to do some YouTubing. And that's the same with you as well, isn't it? Like we do try and balance it between us.
Yeah, there's just been times when if you've got deadlines and stuff, you just can't. But we managed to hit our schedule most of the time, so.
Yeah.
Even upping our schedule a bit.
Well, that's because we rebalanced a few things and decided to decided to prioritize YouTube a little bit more.
We did.
Okay, well, I'm not going to be able to do this half of the house just today, so.
Yeah, feel free to send us a message on Discord or something, Rosie. We can definitely do that. You'll also find that main Discord group that we're both in is really, really quite supportive and amazing.
Yeah. But the way that we solve recording together but separately is I record in my bedroom and
I have an office downstairs.
And Twyxtwo records in the office downstairs. So we actually record. We often sit in separate bits of the house to do this because
on Discord, yeah.
But yeah, if you are planning on doing content together, yeah, that would be really cool, and that'd be helpful. Well, he'll be joining words. I'm tired. Nomadcraft as well. No, we've got a fur cat and a fur dog as our little fur babies.
They're actually mostly quiet, although the cat is teasing the dog right now. Cool. Anyway, I'll be ending our stream. Thank you for joining us, Rosie. It has been lovely to chat to you. I hope we get to chat lots more.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. That was really fab. And yeah, that was a good stream. I enjoyed that. So thank you everyone for joining us. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Stay curious. Bye-bye.